Hi everybody, Steph here. Now what we've got for you today is a lovely little pen. This pen came to me for a service. I've just finished it, so I thought I'd do a little video on it because it is quite a nice pen, but I'm a little bit confused to whether it is actually what they term as a Watermans nurse's pen. Now obviously the shape and the size and even the colour looks to be a Watermans nurse's pen, but there's a couple of little things that I'm not too sure about. So, but for this, all intents and purposes, for this video, I'm going to call it the nurse's pen. Now, I date the pen from around about the 1940s. Now, when Watermans brought out the nurse's pens, they mainly came out in sets, and what you'd actually get is two pens. Two fountain pens and a pencil. In some cases you would get a fountain pen, a pencil, and you'd also get a case that actually looks like a fountain pen, but once you open it up, inside there was actually a thermometer. So they normally came in sets. This particular pen, as I say, it's come to me for a service. I've serviced it, so it's ready to go back. Now, the size of the pen from the top of the cap to the bottom of the barrel is approximately 117 millimeters capped. Around the diameter of the barrel, it's approximately 11 millimeters in diameter. Now, if we take you up to the cap here, you'll see it has this. Well, the trimming on this particular pen is chrome, and you can see it's got this thin chrome cap band to the bottom there. And if we show you the clip to the top there, you can see it's got this chrome clip with this chrome stud to the top of the cap. While we're looking at the top of the cap, again, because the reason I'm not particularly sure on this particular pen is that the nurse's pens, they also, to the top of the cap here, they had a little band. In some cases it was red, and in some cases it was black. Now the reason for that being that when it was black, then, well, supposedly it was filled with black ink, and when it was red, it was filled with red ink. So they could have a pen with black and red ink separate, if you like. But as you can see on this particular pen, well, there's no band to the top of the pen. If we show you the lever here, you can see it's got this, what we term as a spade lever here, again in this chrome effect. And again, the pen itself, if you look at it, it's actually an absolutely gorgeous finish. I believe it's actually a celluloid, and it's this, if you like, what we term, or what I term, as this sort of pearlescent colouring. It's not white, it's more, I would say, a yellowy colour, or a sort of creamy colour, but you can see it actually shimmers in the light. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, as I say, they came in different, these particular pens came in different configurations. Some of them had what they termed as a military clip, or the clip was actually slightly shorter. Some of them had two cap bands to the bottom of the cap there as well. So they came in different configurations. Now what I'm going to do is try and show you the imprint. Now, because of the colouring of this pen, it may be quite difficult for you actually to see it. It's actually difficult, although it's nice and clear, it's actually quite difficult to see with the naked eye. But what I'll do, I'll keep it nice and still, and what it actually reads, I don't know if you can actually see it, it reads Watermans with the Ideal symbol in the middle, and then underneath that it has registered US Pat Office, and then down to the bottom it has made in the United States of America. So again, I don't know if you can actually see that. So it is actually a nice clear imprint, but because of the colouring of this pen, again, a little bit difficult to see. Now, as I said earlier, a little bit confused whether it is actually, well, a real, or not, well, not a real, but a Watermans nurse's pen. They were actually made, although this one's made in USA, they were actually also made in Canada. Now, if I actually unscrew the cap and show you the pen in different angles, just to show it to you, again, absolutely lovely pen. Now, if we show you the the feed to the top there. Slightly unusual that this particular feed has got, it's got a sort of a hint of sort of transparency to the top, and again you can actually just see it to the top there, just a slight hint, although it's not a solid black. There's just a hint of this transparency to the very top of the feed there. Let's show you the nib there. The nib is the correct nib. It actually reads Watermans Ideal, and then underneath it's got 14 KT or 14 carat, and then what you can't actually see, because it's actually to the bottom of the nib, it actually says, well, it actually has 2A and then made in USA. So it's a number 2 nib, which is a correct nib. Now another thing that actually confused me is this. There you go. Once we turn it over, you can see it's got this, well, what I describe as this maybe like a coral red feed to the back, which again, for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming is the correct feed for this pen. Now the only thing I can think of is that when we talked earlier about the caps having the red band to the top, maybe this is the same reason for the red feed here. Maybe the reason being that it has a red feed is that it was to indicate that this particular pen has got red ink in it. But to be quite honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, as I said, what we've done, we've actually serviced it. So, well, first of all, let's bring on some ink. This is the first time we've actually tested it, and again, as we said earlier, it's got this lever, which if we pull out there, you can see, well, it's what we term as a box lever as well. We've put a new sack in it, so what we're going to do is just dip it in the ink, pop the lever back, just give it a couple of seconds, just pop that to one side, and just get a little bit of tissue and wipe off any excess ink. Let's bring on the pad and let's give it a writing sample. So what we have is a Watermans, and again we're going to be calling this the nurse's pen. We're dating the pen around about the 1940s, and it's writing very nice. Let's do some figures of 8. And what I've actually done there, I've just applied a little pressure to the downward stroke, and what I've actually found there, we've got a little bit of a flexible nib. So on the downward stroke we're getting a broad line, and on the upward stroke and the cross stroke, there we go, there's a writing sample, and as you can see we're getting a little bit of variation in the lines. So what we've got on this particular pen is, well, a slightly flexible nib. Again, a lovely writer. So let's pop the cap back on. So there we have it, a lovely Watermans nurse's pen from around about the 1940s. So I hope you're happy with your pen, Angus, and it'll be in the post today or tomorrow back to the US of A. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the pen, as always, as much as I enjoy showing to you. Don't forget, loads more videos, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, but for now I'll just say bye bye now.